So far, these After Dark Neo-Noir collection box sets from Imprint have been pretty solid and pretty consistent, but alas, as the saying goes, nothing gold can stay. And that brings us to today's episode. This is the Kazdoy Closet. I'm Kazdoy. That's my closet full of all the stuff that I love. And today, probably the most disappointing film so far in that After Dark series. Let's check it out. Today's film is The Crossing Guard from 1995. This is about a father whose life is shattered after his young daughter is killed by a drunk driver. And when that driver is released from prison 5 years later, the father's determined to kill him. Now that's pretty dark subject matter, so you'd say suitable for a noir or a neo-noir. But for me, that is kind of where where it ends, really, as far as any kind of noir elements go. There are certain tropes, like we have a main character who is a lonely, isolated, alienated man. We have an ex-con character. There are several scenes set at a strip club. Quite a bit of nudity in this film, especially right from the very beginning. And there's a lot of smoking going on. Now, I know in the old noir films, the classic period from the 40s and 50s, there's a lot of smoking, but people smoked back then. I mean, even the Flintstones had had smoking commercials during their cartoon show. And but this is 1995, and I think almost every character, if not every character, is smoking in this film. And I just found it kind of distracting. Look, it's 1995. I think the verdict is in at that point that smoking will kill you. I mean, I quit in 1986, and that was even still too late. So that was just a weird thing for me. But the biggest problem really with this film is the dialogue. I kept thinking, and I made notes as I'm watching it, and over and over I thought, do people really talk like this? I mean, every character in each scene gets right to the point, articulating beautifully how they feel and what they think just immediately. And they're not building up to it or anything, and it just came off to me as like a little bit overly contrived, overly sincere, heartfelt, almost sort of like therapy speak in a way. And basically, I didn't believe anything anybody said in this film. Let me give you one example. There's a woman who's trying to start a relationship with this drunk driver after he's released from prison. And he's very haunted by what he did, and he's emotionally unavailable. So she finally says to him, "Your guilt is too much competition for me. Let me know when you want life." So it sounds very writerly to me and not very natural. Along with the dialogue, some of the scenes were just very difficult to believe. There's a set piece with Jack Nicholson, who stars in this, as he's running from the cops. He's not in great shape at this point, Jack Nicholson. And he's running from two cops who are in very good shape. And even the director said that after a few takes of this, Nicholson had to go back to his trailer and start using an oxygen tank. He was so winded from running. And I thought, well, that probably should have told you that it's not very believable if this is what this guy had to do. Another thing was hard to believe was these very young, beautiful women are attracted to him. Yes, they are sex workers, but I don't see him exchanging any money with them. They seem to really love him. One girl writes a song for him. Another one says that she wants to be with him. But this guy is just kind of a schlub, and he's drunk all the time, and he's sad and depressed and just kind of a lump. And I thought, I don't understand what's going on here with these women half his age falling all over him. The ending, the very ending, is completely eye-rolling, completely contrived, and unbelievable. Visually, the film, there's a lot of slow motion going on here, so a little bit too arty. I'd say maybe a quarter of the film is slow motion scenes. A lot of montages, a lot of thoughtful gazing into the distance. So, wow, I don't know. The weird thing is, a lot of talented people involved here. Sean Penn was the writer and director. By the way, there's an interview with him in here, and he's smoking, so I thought maybe that's where it came from. But this is his second feature after The Indian Runner. The cast, good cast: Jack Nicholson, Angelica Houston, David Morse. Robin Wright has one scene, or two scenes. Robbie Robertson of the band pops up in one scene. I thought, what is Robbie Robertson doing there? It was just I don't know. Now, the director of photography, Vilmos Zsigmond, legendary. He shot Blowout and The Deer Hunter and Deliverance, among many others. So you'd think with all this talent, it would come off better, and yet didn't quite work, at least not for me. My rating for The Crossing Guard, I'm going to give this one 2 calendar pages out of 5. Why calendar pages? Well, the very beginning, so this isn't giving anything away. Nicholson has a calendar page on his wall, and there's X's through all the days, and then one day has like a red square bordering it, and that's the day when this drunk driver is going to be released. So I thought, has he been marking these calendars for 5 years, or is it just this 1 month? Whatever it was. But so what's on this disc? This is an imprint disc, part of that box set, volume 3. And there are 2 audio commentaries, which I did not listen to. There is a video essay. There are interviews with the director and some of the actors and the editor. And I thought maybe I was in the wrong mood, or who knows. So let me watch the extras, and maybe I'll get an appreciation of this film more than I couldn't get really. And that didn't help. So where can you see The Crossing Guard? Should you want to see it? It's streaming on Paramount Plus right now. Looks like the Blu-ray is really expensive, at least on Amazon, so I guess it's out of print. The DVD is $15. You can probably rent it, or maybe even try your local library. Now, before we wrap this up, really sad about another musical genius, legend, passed away the other day. And that is, rest in peace, Brian Wilson. You know, I could spend an entire episode describing my appreciation for him, especially growing up in Southern California. But even if I didn't grow up in Southern California, it wouldn't change things. Pet Sounds alone is just a life-changing masterpiece. I've listened to it so many times. I'll be listening to it again till the day I die. And if you don't think it's a masterpiece, ask Paul McCartney what he thinks about it. I was really lucky to see Brian Wilson perform Pet Sounds live at the Hollywood Bowl several years ago. And so some of the CDs are back here. But I really recommend, if you want to really get into it, this box set of Pet Sounds. It used to be called the Pet Sounds Sessions. So you might be able to find one like that too. But this is 5 CDs. But what's interesting about this is, by the way, if you don't want to buy this, or if you can't get it, Spotify, I think, has the whole thing on there. The interesting thing about this is one CD is just the music isolated, and you really get an appreciation for how he layered and composed the music on here. It's really extraordinary. And then another CD is just the vocals, and same thing with that. Really impressive to hear that. If you think some of his songs are simple, and some were, of course, but some of them are quite complex if you listen closely to it, and you might gain a bigger appreciation for what Brian Wilson did. As far as books go, there's one about Brian Wilson I would recommend called Catch a Wave. And as far as films go, I think Love and Mercy is an excellent film about Brian Wilson. Tough to find that one. Maybe you can rent it. I don't see it for sale anywhere. But, hopefully they'll bring it out again, because I would like to see that again. So feel free to leave a comment or suggestion down below. Leave a thumbs up. Don't leave a thumbs down. Subscribe would be great. Share this with your friends and neighbors. Subscribing is free. Also free is we are on Letterboxd under the Kazdoy Closet. But what's not free is my ebook is available. It is True Tales from the Teacher Trenches, the ups and downs from 32 years of teaching. It's you have to go to Amazon.com. It's for your Kindle. But if you don't have a Kindle, you can use the free Kindle app on the device of your choice. If you have Kindle Unlimited, it's included with that. So no charge for that. You're already paying for it. And otherwise, it would be $1.99. But thanks so much. Hope you liked this episode. And thanks for watching. See you next time.